Welcome to UndefeatedMindz podcast. We represent elevated innovation over ignorance. This is hosted, or more so presented, by a distinguished gentleman. Y'all know what it is, but I have a special guest here with me today.
Yes, sir.
And I would like to introduce him. This guy met me through social media, which our main topic today is social media. He reached out, and ever since then, it's been value for value. This guy has his own clothing line. He's an entrepreneur. He's an influencer. He has a great spirit. He's a huge supporter. You know what I'm saying? He works out.
Definitely.
He dresses nice. He has his own podcast. He has his own YouTube. This guy does it all. You know what I'm saying?
All around.
Listen,
Master
if I'm
man.
not inspired, at the end of the day, this guy have pushed me to be better in many different areas indirectly. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, man, I'm glad to have you here. My boy
Hey,
Sam,
you might be the intro king, dog. You might be the intro king for real. Nah, that's love, bro. For real, I definitely agree with you. Everything you just said. Like, from the moment we linked up, it's been nothing but value. Like, it's good to just meet somebody, be genuine with somebody, and really be able to just be vulnerable from the day one. Like, I remember reaching out, I remember seeing your content, and I'm like hitting you up, like, bro, how you getting the content like this, and how you working out like this, and you just welcome me in, bro, open arms, and ever since then we've been locked in, bro. So nah,
for sure, bro.
nah.
I knew what made me want to do more work with you after you reached out is the fact that you reached out. I think that there's a stigma that reaching out is some form of a weak area.
Yeah.
And to me, I want to ask you a question because you were the one who reached out.
Got you.
You kind of answered it a little bit, but I want you to go into a little more detail about it. But what gave you that go to just to be like, you know what, bro? I see what I see. I want to mess with them, and it is it. I'm gonna see where it lands.
So I think for me, like, I'm a sponge. Like, so I never wanted to be the smartest person in the room. That's one thing I learned early. Like, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. Be in a position to learn. Be in a position to ask questions. And I kind of apply that to everything for real. So I think for me, I seen what you were doing. I had constantly seen it. I can see it consistently. And where we are, I don't know if y'all been to Raleigh, been to Durham. Where we are, a lot of people aren't in the spaces that we're in right
Not
now.
at all.
So I was looking for that community of, let me build this space of creators, people who are consistent, people who work out. I was into fitness content. So once I started building that and put that into the atmosphere, that's what I wanted to build. I think that's how I found your page. Like, your page came to me, and I'm like, okay, bro, around here, like, okay, he close. So just reaching out and being able to find somebody like that was on my same wave, I was like, yeah, let me tap in with bro real quick. Yeah. It can go one or two ways, you know what I mean? You can tap in and be like, or you can tap in and be like, all right, come fuck with me. So yeah,
For sure. And it went the way where it was like, bro,
yeah,
let's tap in. I think once you reached out, you know, you typically go do let me scan through the page, let me do all that stuff. And I seen how consistent you were. And like how you said, you saw something of value of mine, but I also saw something of value of yours.
Yeah.
A challenge of mine that I wanted to get to the point where it's the consistency behind it.
Yeah.
And I knew that guys who are doing what I would like to do, that are consistent at it, I can develop that skill from them. You know what I'm saying? So I need to be around those who are better than me. Like you said, I personally didn't want to be the smartest one in the room. So, like the same way how I told Charlie, Tupac said this line that sticks with me for the rest of my life.
Gotcha.
He said, I'm going to find somebody who's greater than me at the subject. I'm going to work with them, take what they did, work at that, and come back to them and to the point where I can't call them great no more. You know what I'm saying? And he said it in a way where it's like, I value what you have, and I want what you have, and I'm going to work at that craft so I can develop it from my skills. So,
but I like what you said there. Work with them.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, work with people. Like, I think we see things and we want it, but we're not willing to work with people. We just want it. So I'm gonna go in my room. I'm gonna do what I think you're doing over and over and over, instead of just going straight to you and be like, bro, what you doing? Like, how can I get better? Instead of
That's
just
true.
coming straight to the source, I'm gonna do what I think you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend 100 hours doing it,
Yeah.
and then when my it ain't booming or it ain't getting better, then I'm gonna come to you finally and be like, yo, what is it that you doing, man? I done tried everything, and now I done wasted 100 hours that I could have spent on just perfecting what it is that you were doing the whole time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
work with people. Like,
I think that as men, we have to learn the hard way though. Like there's different categories.
yeah,
Cause I always break things down in categories because we're not all one and the same.
yeah,
And there's this quote that says, "A genius learns from other people's mistakes. A smart person learns from his own mistakes.
okay.
And a dumb person does the same thing,
Oh,
expecting
right.
a different result,
Yeah.
which is going to drive his ass
Insanity.
insane."
Yeah.
So with that being said, like, I think majority of people are in the middle lane.
Yeah,
I think that they see somebody who's doing something,
yeah,
and then they'll take that and be like, I want to try myself.
yeah,
Instead of asking, they fuck up just like the person that they looking at.
yeah.
Because when you don't ask, you don't know where the person
you don't
messed
get
up.
it. Yeah.
So it's
Closed
like,
mouth don't get fed. Yeah.
So you can continue to repeat this cycle. Now, don't get me wrong. Most people learn from, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that again. However, you could avoid it, all of that,
Just by asking.
by asking.
Yeah. I mean, but it's a rejection thing, right? Because we're in that age, and I think especially people younger than us, where you get rejected on a larger scale, right? When we were growing up, if I got rejected, only me and you would know I got rejected. You know what I mean? Like that's the only people will know that you left me on red, or you didn't respond to me, or you didn't give me a benefit of an answer, or whatever the case may be. But now it's, look who slid in my DMs, or bruh think he doing something. Like, we like to
Very
put
true.
people on, we like to reject on blast now. And I think that's why people are a little bit more afraid. Like,
I agree.
I reached out to you. Were you the first and only person I ever reached out to? No. But were you the first person that replied? Possibly. Like, who knows, like, how many people actually reply, like, on the scale of how many times I've reached out to people. You know what I mean? Like, I would say, like, the replies are minimal. Like, there's people who probably still haven't received my message. You know what I mean? But that's because social media moves so fast. It's like, if somebody don't really reply to you in a week, that message is, it might be in a whole other category. They got categories of messages now, but it might be way down where they really just don't see it. You know what I mean? But now we so rejected, we don't want to ask nobody anymore. Like, oh my gosh, the person I thought was gonna respond didn't respond to me, and we doing the same thing. So my brother, like, so.
Yep. I think that majority of men don't need it.
Yeah.
I think that like I was having a conversation earlier about young men being on the street, and I grew up in the streets, but I don't say it in a way where it's glorified.
Yeah.
I say it in a way where it was a journey. I believe that men have to go through those hard times to be able to develop some scars.
Yeah.
So they know, okay, this can either go left or it can go right.
Yeah.
And I can remember from this scar, it went wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
So
This
let
is
me not
a
do that shit
reminder.
again.
Yeah, this is a reminder.
Easy. So most guys have to go through that process, and I think you took more so the genius approach. You took the, hey, I'm gonna reach out, I'm gonna shoot my shot, see if anybody, you know what I'm saying, catch it.
Yeah.
And if somebody catch it, I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell them, hey, let's collab, let's do some work, let's do this.
I'm pretty self-sufficient, but you can only go so far alone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think I had got to the point where I had a camera for a couple of years, and I was doing content for a couple of years, and I was consistent, but I wasn't where I wanted to be. You know what I mean? So I think I had hit that point where, okay, I've just gone as far as I can go by myself, and now I need to learn from other people. Like, I need to figure out what other people are doing to get better quality content, to get more reach, to get more better topics to talk about. Like, I just had to go outside of myself. I did everything I could do. And sometimes you got to work alone. Sometimes you got to get in the lab and really commit to something by yourself. But then you got to step outside the room too sometimes.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, man, I agree with that. I agree with a lot of the things that you said. So let me ask you this, though. Were you raised in a one-parent home or two-parent home?
One parent.
One-parent home. You was raised with your mom?
My mom, 3 boys. Yeah.
3 boys?
Yeah, 3
Okay.
boys. Yeah.
Okay.
2 older brothers, I'm the baby. Yeah.
Two older brothers.
Yeah, I'm the baby.
Okay, so how did that work between you and your brothers? Were your brothers like a influence to you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my brothers are 5 or 6 years older than me, so watching them grow up it was like a movie, bro. Like for real, like it was like a movie. Like, and I'm from right outside of Philadelphia, a city called Norristown, Pennsylvania. Like, I remember basement parties. Like, I remember, like, my brothers and them having the basement flooded. I'm at the top of the steps like, dang, like, these dudes got everybody here at the house. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm like, when I grow up, like, this is what I'm going to do. Like, just like them. I'm going to do it just like them. So, I mean, a lot of influence came from them. A lot of influence came from coaches. I got great guys in my family, like, real, like, present guys in my family. Like, real present. A lot of good positivity. My brothers made decisions that I learned from. You know what I mean? So things that my brothers got into, I didn't go down that path. You know what I mean? And then I moved down here to North Carolina with just my mom, and those lessons of what not to do just kept guiding my growth. You know what I mean? So my mom, she definitely had influence, but my brothers, looking at what they did, things that they did that I liked and things that they did that I necessarily didn't like or didn't get positive outcomes, that really shaped the path that I was going to be on. Yeah. Because, you know, it's opportunity. Ain't nothing but opportunity out in the street. So, like,
Facts.
Ain't nothing but opportunity.
I also grew up with a single mom, but I got only sisters.
Okay.
And I think the difference between what you're saying, I can tell the difference between guys who grew up with male influences in their life, because they'll take the leap.
Yeah.
And when you looking at your brothers, like even uncles, other guys that's in your life, like you say, coaches, they teach you how to take the leap, even from their own personal experience. They're like, bro, just do it, bro. Be the first one in line. Or go out here and just try it. Or go out here and get active. So that initiative to just go out here and go do it is what separates the guys who did not have that influence. And as we get older, if you don't seek to develop that, if you don't have that when you were younger, like we said earlier, you live in a competitive world, you will get left behind. Yeah. Because it can hurt you. So if there was any advice that you could give to a kid, let's say you're talking to the younger version of me. Okay. I don't have brothers. Okay. I don't have no male influence. Yeah. You do. Okay. You are now your brothers, and I am now you. Got you. Okay. What would be some advice that you would give a guy who does not have that type of influence? I'm going to give you pushback. I'm just letting you know. Nah. I think, and unfortunately, this is just how you take it. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing like, oh, let me go get this tatted. You know what I mean? But what you got to lose? Like, what do you have as a young man to lose? What do you have to lose? Literally, you ain't got the money yet. Like, you ain't got the success yet. All you got is a dream. What do you have to lose? Like, and that's what I developed, and I developed that at 25. I'll say, I moved down here. I go to high school. I go to college. I graduate college. Graduate college. Now I'm the first to graduate college. I'm working, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I got all these things in my mind that I want to do outside of work. But I was already the first to do something. Why can't I be the first to do this? Why can't I be the first to do that? Like, nobody in my family got a clothing line? I'm going to be the first to that. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I developed that mindset of, well, if you're going to be the first to something, you can be the first to anything. Like, if you can do that, you can do anything. So I just started looking at what I got to lose. Like, and I would tell my younger self, if you got an idea, something you want to try, something you're really passionate about, that's positive and safe, what do you have to lose besides time? Like, that's it. And you really didn't lose it. You just really filled out that it wasn't it. You know what I mean? Now I can go try something else, but you really ain't got nothing to lose. Like, I can't really too much say nothing about that, bro, because now that I have the mindset, because when I was younger, even though I did have male influence, I just put myself in that position
Yeah.
To not have it. But I did have male influence, which is my coaches.
Yeah.
I seeked male influence when I was younger too, because I'm like, look, I need to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And me playing chess as a young kid, I always understood that
Chess is crazy.
you can control your outcome.
Yeah.
But I had a teacher who would tell me all the time, you can't think properly if you're upset. Because I was a kid.
Emotion. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
So
yeah.
once she sat me down, it was like, you can't think while you're upset. You can't think while you're upset.
Yeah.
Fun fact, bro. And I don't know if this clip will ever go viral or nothing like that.
Probably not, because it's too positive.
But
too good.
It's really a monkey wrench,
Yeah.
bro. You know Adrian Payne, the basketball player that played for Michigan State?
Yeah. The one that who's the one that had the eye issue?
He had, I don't know if he had an eye issue, but
I know you're talking about the center. Yeah.
He passed away now.
Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, he got into an altercation down in Miami.
Dang, I didn't know
trying
that.
to protect a young lady that wasn't his girl and got jammed up. But anywho, and it's very ironic because this is coming full circle. When we were younger, we went to Blairwood Elementary School together.
Okay.
He was bullying a girl, and I stepped in, and I was like, because I bullied the bullies. I was like, I want the biggest, baddest one. You think you're strong?
And you got sisters, so you
right.
Like,
I'm after you. So
yeah.
me and him got into an altercation. I beat him up. We went to the principal's office. Then the principal found out why I did what I did.
Yeah.
Adrian got suspended, but then the principal gave me an option to say, either you can go in chess or you can get suspended. So Adrian Payne is the reason why I was a chess champion when I was young in Ohio.
That's crazy.
So it's kind of like, it's very full circle. Without Adrian, I would have never been a chess champion.
Yeah.
Nor would I have this mindset that I have now.
Yeah.
So, so I've always been that type of guy who was think before you move, like protect this guy,
Protect the
have
queen.
a duty and stuff like that. So it was like me rolling over into Miss Kingery, and then from that point on, all of the men that came into my life, I used to say the same thing, man.
Yeah.
You got the light.
Yeah.
You need to think before you move. You got the light. Don't fuck up. Don't do this. So I always just pay attention. Like, all right, think before I move. Let me put myself in the Gene's position. He said that he got this outcome. Do I want the same outcome that he got if it was negative? No, I don't. I'm not gonna do that. Do I want the same outcome that he has if it's positive? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But I want to double it.
Yeah. I want to make it my outcome.
I want to make it my outcome, but better. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So then what connected me to you was the fact that you had that same type of mindset. Before I even knew you, I just knew, like, he reached out.
Yeah, he's serious. From him. Yeah, he's serious.
He's serious. Yeah. He wants it. I'm serious. I want it.
Yeah.
Hey, let's collab. Let's do this thing.
Nah, yeah, and I think even, like, the first time we worked out, like, we got a good workout in. Mm-hmm. Like, we could have walked away from it from just a good workout. Right. But, like, I learned how to shoot better. Mm-hmm. I learned different angles. Mm-hmm. I learned different camera settings. So, like, the value that I got out of that, I was able to just put into other stuff, you know what I mean? And it really, that wasn't even the intent. Like, the intent was, like, let's link up, let's get a workout in, like, and let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't as transactional as people make everything out to be. If we're doing the same thing and we're going to collab, like, our first interaction doesn't have to be the work. Like, let's go get some coffee. Let's go figure out who we are so we can show up a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like, I think everything is so transactional. I only want to work with you for this, so that's all I'm going to work with you for. I'm not going to work with you to figure out what type of guy this is, or do I even want to. I like what you're doing, and I only want to work with you for this, so that's all we're going to make it be. And then that doesn't come off as genuine as people think. So that's why a lot of collabs don't happen, because you only want to, like you said, use and abuse. Like, I know that you only want to work with me for views or for network or for something like that. It's like, you don't really rock with me because you rock with me. But once you spend intentional time with somebody, you can figure that out. But we don't do that. We want straight to the point so I can get back to what I want to do. It's a lot of selfishness.
Okay. So you say that when it comes to paying attention to people, and they can get to the point of just transactional situations to the point where they're like, I want to work with him, but I don't want to work with him because I just really want to get something out of you. I don't really want to do all that stuff. We've been talking about thinking before you move.
Yeah.
And one thing that I say that men should develop is preventative skills. Being able to see things before they happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Jonathan Majors, you fucked up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you also displayed, based off your story, that you saw things that your brothers didn't like the outcome, didn't agree with it, so you went other ways.
Yeah.
Based off social media, because me and you got connected through social media.
Yeah, social media is crazy. Yeah.
What are some signs that you can see for people to recognize when somebody is positive for you?
Yeah.
And when somebody is negative for you? Because not everybody is a hero.
And I mean, I'm just gonna base this off social media.
Yeah, strictly.
But engagement. Like, is somebody sharing your stuff? Is somebody liking your post? Like, that's just tangible engagement that social media can tell you. Are they messaging you? Are they building conversations? Do y'all run in the same circles? Are y'all seeing each other? Like, if we both do fashion and I don't see you at the district, or I don't see you at the store, are we really in the same circles? If we both work out and I don't see you at the gym, do you really work out? Like, you know what I mean? Are we on the same mission for real? Like, there's things that are going to show up in real life that will kind of point you in the direction of, is this somebody that I really want to work with? Like, for Black Fly on the Wall, for instance, like, do you know how many people hit me up online and say, bro, I want to be on the pod. Yo, how can I get on the pod? But don't engage with the pod.
Or
y'all
don't share the post.
Y'all don't follow. Y'all don't like. Y'all don't share. Y'all don't comment. Why would we put you on the pod? Like, what value are you bringing to the pod? And that's how we know that you only want the pod for what it can do for you. You know what I mean? But if you're somebody who's really engaging, we see you in the comments because we check all this stuff. I think people don't realize, like, we check all this stuff, but, like, we check all this stuff, like, we really funnel, like, through the guests. So when people come on the pod, like, they're handpicked. Like, we see what you're doing, we like what you're doing, type of stuff. But if you ain't got nothing for us to like, then it's not going to happen. So, like, things that you can pay attention to is, like, engagement, of course. Like I said, like, share, comments, just support in general. Any type of support, and that's just strictly from, like, social media. Like, that's just, if you want to know somebody rock with you on social media only, you can look at whether they like and engage in your content, like, and leave it at that. If they not, it's hot. 9 times out of 10, they don't really rock with you like they say so.
They're not rocking with you.
They're not rocking with you.
It's good that you say that, bro, because I'm not saying you would be surprised, but most of us are running into a situation where now we're going into the smart area.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you give so many people chances after chances after chances, and they showing you that they are not really supporting you.
Yeah.
I think that we programmed that way, though. And
I mean, we on a program, though.
You said one more time?
We on a program. Like,
True.
Social media is a program. So it's like, it's detrimental when you're looking for support. Because the first place we look for support is family. We gotta get out of that. We gotta break free of my family gotta support me because it's my family type of thing. Because once we don't get that, then we don't get support from social media. Oh, the algorithm ain't pushing me. We so quick to throw. We think that it's not working. Social media is a network of billions of people that don't know you. And I tell my boy all the time, because, like, this social media, like, I'm in a wave, like, 2024, I'm posting every day. Because I'm not going to get where I need to be off one post. I don't know enough people. I don't have enough reach. I'm posting every single day. You're going to see my face. You're going to see me being consistent. You're going to see me putting the content out.
Right.
I got a homie that does music. And people don't understand. Take 1/10 of what your followers are. If you're hitting 1/10 of that, you're being successful. Because that's all you really need. That's your 1,000 people. Your 1/10. If you got 400 followers, subscribers, whatever, and 40 people are constantly liking, you're on the right path. Like, you're not gonna hit 20,000, 30,000 off of 400 followers. Like, it's not going to happen. As long as you're hitting your 10th on social media, keep doing whatever you're doing. Like, don't give up. We so quick to think we need to be hitting the 20,000, 100,000, 1 million. It's not going to happen. You don't have enough reach. Like, you just don't have enough reach, and you don't have enough supporters. You're 400. Now, if all 400 was constantly in the bag with you, it'd be different because Instagram would see it and be like, everybody loves what they're doing, but you only got a tenth of your people saying that. So they're going to throw you to the next 10th in those markets and see how it reacts. That's why sometimes you go up a little higher, sometimes you don't. But you don't normally blow up off of one post once a month, 3 times a year. Like, you know what I mean? So you got to really just keep going with the social media thing and look at, if my 10th is supporting me, keep going. Like, I was one of those people, man, why I ain't go viral yet? I got the content. I know I got the content. Why I ain't go viral yet? But I'm getting my 10th, and my 10th is growing. That's what you got to look for. As long as you hitting your 10th and your 10th is growing, keep going. Keep going with the content.
I agree. You just got to keep going, get through that adversity and that mental block of like, dang, it's not working. Why is this not working?
We consume so much of other people's lives, man. Like, we competing with superstars. We competing with millionaires. Like, we competing with companies who funnel hundreds of thousands of dollars into marketing. Why would Instagram or any other social media push your content as much as they're pushing Walmart when Walmart just gave us $100,000 to push? Like, why would I make your content the same numbers as Walmart for free? You know what I mean? So, like, we're hitting that time of social media where social media is a business. Like, yes, it all started as a social media network where you can meet people and take pictures, and there's levels to it. You got the people who got social media because it's 2024, and if you don't have social media, you're a psychopath. Then you got the people who genuinely just love making content. Like, they not looking for no business. They just like doing their little pictures, their little posts. Their page might be private because it's just for them and their little family or whatever. Then you got the people who are content creating, could be on the verge of a business, but really just genuinely like taking photos, taking videos. Then you got those people who taking it as a business. And then you got the businesses that do social media. So, like, you got to figure out what realm you're in. Like, there's levels to everything. Or if you're going to take it as a business, then you got to think business. You got to think marketing. You got to think, okay, every dollar that I get off social media, I need to put back into my business. That's the only way you're going to compete with the businesses. Like, so if you're measuring yourself up against Walmart, it's never going to factor because y'all are on 2 different levels. Like, their marketing budget is on a whole nother level than yours. But that's how I started out, man. I started out just loving making videos. I knew if nobody watched my videos, I was going to make a video. I'm in the club making reels. I remember my homies like, bro, you in here making reels? That's more fun than sitting here. Like, I'm having more fun making this reel right now than I am in this club because I genuinely like doing it. Like, so that's how you got to start. If you can't do that, then it might not be your business.
I think that what you said, that we kind of glanced over. We didn't really glance over it, but we didn't highlight it. But I think it's very, very important about what you said, even when it comes to, for example, a Black Fly on the Wall, and how you guys like seek out those who wants to be on there. Yep. What you just said earlier is service. And I think this is where the apprenticeship comes into play, or when they say the cliche, which is not cliche, it's actually mathematically true. But 10,000 hours to become an expert. Oh yeah. Within those 10,000 hours, majority of that work is free. Yeah. Like, majority of that work is. Oh yeah.
We can go ahead and say about 95% of that work is free.
It's free. Yeah. I think that when we look at,
and it should be free.
It should be free, and I think it should be free for your development.
Yeah.
However, we look at those who are at the top, like the Gary V's. Yeah. Like the who's another motivational speaker that's just out here, just like, you got to go out here and grind. You got to go. Yeah, you got to just do it. You got to do that. You got to do this. You got to do that. You're gonna have more areas where you go back into, oh, this didn't work, that didn't work. You gotta keep trying. This didn't work, that didn't work. You gotta keep trying. You gotta go. If it's not working for you by yourself, reach out.
Yeah.
Within that process, though, you gotta create a safe space. And I tell guys this because this is distinguished gentleman.
Yeah.
You have to, one, as you get older, you want to make the least amount of mistakes, critical mistakes, as possible, because these critical mistakes can set you back.
Yeah.
Or it can slow down your development. You get what I'm saying? Meaning, having children, unplanned, can set you back.
Mm-hmm. Dealing with the wrong woman.
Dealing with the wrong woman
set you back.
Can set you back.
If you're dealing with a woman,
you going down the lane now,
who is not capable or willing to support your mission, you're with the wrong woman. Because you're going to have to, and I said this on an episode, you're battling your heart, and that is the hardest thing to battle. As a man, you already got to go out and battle the world. So if I got to battle the one thing I think is secure, which is my heart, I'm never going to be able to progress, because I'm not going to be able to fully. How you going to go home and work on yourself if you got to argue about working on it? How you going to go home? What space do you have to create if you got to argue about creating? If creating is taken away from your heart. If your heart is battling you on going out and doing a pod on a Sunday night. If your heart is battling on you on going out and shooting videos, when are you going to do it?
You won't, because you focused on that.
Because you battling your heart. You can battle. We battle everything. We battle competition. We battle the world. We out here. We put ourselves out. We battle work. Battle the highways.
That's right.
Like, if I got to go home and battle my heart, I lose every time. Like, you're going to lose every time. You cannot battle your heart. So if your woman is not supporting, it's one or two reasons. She don't either believe in what you got going on, which is a problem, or you don't believe what you got going on, which is a problem. Because if you believe in it enough that you can show her and lead her into believing it too, then you got something good. But a lot of times they go back to that being busy and being productive.
Yeah.
You just busy. She think you just busy because you not producing no fruit. You going up there, you in the room for 7 hours a day working on your body, but you ain't shooting no episodes. Like, or you ain't making no calls. Like, y'all just busy. So that's my little spill on the women thing.
I was going to say, because you're going down the lane, fella.
Because that's so important, though,
it's super critical
so
to
important.
Young men developing themselves and getting themselves in a position to grow and be in an entrepreneur perspective, like where we are right now. The process of me getting here, I had to get to the point where I learned to say no. Like, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. This is gonna take a hit on this relationship, but I got to be here. For example, I got to be here on Sunday at night interviewing you.
Bruh.
If I had to worry about something else behind that, with no support, I'll be stuck.
I had to let a relationship go, literally, and this is like an ego thing. This is an ego thing I think that I developed as just a young man, and I think a lot of people develop too. I just wasn't the person for her. Like, and I think that's so hard, because I think when we get in, especially when we commit to a relationship, we want to be that guy. Like, I just wasn't going to be the guy that got her to her happiness. You know what I mean? And I had to eat that. Like, that was something I had to swallow. Like, dang, I'm not that guy. Like, I'm really not the guy that's going to make her happy. Like, I'm not that guy, because we just wanted too many different things. Like, you know what I mean? And once you let that go, then you be like 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, you be like, dang, like, at least I'm the guy I want to be. Like, you know what I mean? I might not be her guy, but at least I'm the guy. Like, but you gotta let go of that ego thing, especially with women. Like, you just might not be that guy. Like, look at your situation. If you're in a situation right now, some of y'all are in a situation right now, you're not the guy. You're fighting her, she's fighting you, y'all arguing. Yeah, you living with her. Y'all, she not happy, you not happy, you not finding your purpose, she not finding her purpose, because you not the guy. Like, and you can blame her as much as you want, but you're not the guy, buddy. Like, and just eat it and accept it, or you're going to get hurt, and that's going to set you even further back. because now you're gonna be wondering what you did wrong, and waiting trying to fix the situation that's dead. Like,
and on top of that, it go into that situation of you'll make an impulsive decision because you're not managing your emotions. Now, most of the
end
pain
up with that.
most of that pain, if you're a guy who knows how to think before he moves, even through emotions, so you can go through adversity behind that emotion, you can use that emotion to your advantage.
Yeah.
Because a heartbroken man that go to the gym can get the greatest body.
Yo, what?
A heartbroken guy who
go
goes
to the
on
gym.
field,
Go to the gym off a breakup.
You're going to be killing. There's no weight that's going to stop you.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You're
However,
going
that's a productive man.
Yeah.
Be more so.
That's a healthy habit.
That's a healthy habit.
Yeah, that's a healthy habit.
He just locked in on that habit a whole lot more. However, we do have the guys who do impulsive things that's destructive. Yeah. Like going around being disrespectful towards their elders, being disrespectful towards their peers, being disrespectful towards the young, destroying things that's not theirs.
Watching a lot of corn. I'm gonna say corn, so we don't get subject. But watching a lot of corn. A lot of y'all watching a lot of corn. Like,
you gotta chill.
You gotta chill with the corn.
Yeah.
You can't develop off the corn.
you have to go through dick discipline. Yeah. And I talk about this all the time.
For sure.
And I'm gonna add this in there too. This is kind of like a small tab. I've talked about this on other episodes, but I'm gonna add this in this tab. If you are a guy who receives a lot of attention, understand this. There's gonna get to a point where that attention will become a habit and it'll become addicting. You will go through the process of now you want to go against that. It's gonna be like you going through withdrawals. Yeah. You have to get to the point where you control your dick because it will control you. Yeah. And once it control you, bro, like how you just said, you'll be fighting not only with your heart, but you'll be fighting with your little head. Yeah. And now you can't get nothing productive.
Now it's
done.
2 against 1.
And now it's 2 against 1.
Now you're getting jumped. Now you're getting jumped. I mean, facts. Like there's like, and there's like a seriousness to like a man's development. Like, so that instant gratification that you was talking about earlier, like you said, that addiction to being a man or having pleasure, like that is not getting you the pleasure that you seek. That's literally a moment, literally a second of pleasure, and that's only on the release. Like, that's not the real long-lasting pleasure that you want. So, like, get out there, take the heartbreak, take the L's, take the lessons, work at them so that you can have something that lasts. Like you said, dick discipline. Like, that is a serious thing. Like, No Nut November, I used to laugh at that, like, until I did it. Like, until I tried it. Like, and then I was like, really? Yeah. Off of 30 days? Like, I was able to do this in 30 days? Like, everything's funny until you try it. You know what I mean? And then you see the benefits of just having that self-control. If you really want a woman, get self-control. Like, that's something that she can fall in love with. That's something that she can lean into, is your ability to self-control, because she's going to test you. Like, and if you don't have self-control, then you start making impulsive decisions, and you end up in situations that you can't really get out of. Like, it's crazy, man. But like you said, there's always a game being played. Like, and for sure, we're always playing chess. So,
and I look at it like it's like I always talk about soft skills all the time. I look at life like GTA type stuff, or like you creating a player. You are your avatar. All of these over here are your soft skills that you can develop. Yep. The stats go all the way up to 99. All the way, these are all your hard skills. Your stats can go all the way up to 99. What you work on is what gets better. Yep. If you're not aware of what these categories of stats are, you'll never work on them. Yeah. So, as a man, there's a lot of soft skills that we don't know or have never worked on.
Never even seen them.
So then when it's time to actually use these soft skills within the relationship, we lose because we don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to listen. We don't have emotional intelligence. No conflict resolution. None of these things which require to maintain a relationship. But we have to go out here, I work hard, I do all the hard skills. Yeah. And that's why I always tell people, being a gentleman has nothing to do with being a simp. It has everything to do with mastering your soft skills.
But the soft skills are the same reason that people can't grow on social media. Because you're not relatable. You don't hit those. You don't share the same points. You don't share the same problem areas. Like, we can go out there, we can make the content, but we're not relatable because we can't make a nice comment under somebody thing that people agree with. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Like those same soft skills that you're talking about that you apply to your relationship, you apply to your business, you apply to networking. Like, all of those things are well beyond one realm, right? We like to look at things so linear sometimes. It's like, if you open up your mind and say, you know what, I can apply this to this area. Yeah, I can apply discipline to sex, but I can also apply discipline to goal setting. I can apply discipline to nutrition. I can apply discipline to so many different areas of my life that it's always going to be a benefit. You know what I mean? So it's like, stop looking at things like it only applies to one thing and start opening up your mind to how else can I make this work in another area of my life and become well-rounded in those soft skills, those hard skills. And this shit's just going to take work, man.
It's going to take work. And it also goes into, like, where I was talking about on Black Fly on the Wall.
Y'all got to see the man on Black Fly on the Wall. I ain't going to lie. Go check him out.
Yeah, y'all go check out the episode. Link will be in the description below. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It most definitely should be out by the time this comes out. However, there comes a point where you have to learn how to learn. Yeah. And most teachers today, when we watch these podcasts, man, I'm going to put us in there, in that category too. We can come off like we're preaching but not teaching. Yeah. We can come off like you just said a hard line quote and we say, but you didn't really say anything. Yeah. Like you didn't really give the how-to knowledge for this person to take what you said and apply it to their life. Yeah. And I think that is what's hurting us when it comes to what you were saying. Those soft skills can be applied everywhere. Yeah. These hard skills can be applied everywhere. You got to know when to use these soft skills because, like you say, on social media, you can't use these soft skills. And this is where I get into the dark side of, I always tell people, hey, look, I'll take it there. Yeah. I'll go left. I'll go right. I'll say something wild because even though I'm a gentleman, I'll still live on the edge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to know when to and when not to. Yeah. However,
and you got to know what the outcome of is going to be when you do it. Yeah.
For sure. That's the whole point. Yeah. Is this the right time to use this?
Because you can go to the edge. But if you don't know what the outcome is if you go to the edge, because it's not always the same drop. No. You know what I mean? You go to the edge of a mountain, you'll see cliffs all the way down. Now, you could drop to the next cliff. It might be 5 feet. You know what I mean? Cool. No problem. You could drop 35 feet. You know what I mean? So it's it's different outcomes, but as long as you calculate, you know.
Tell us this.
Do a little song.
Progressively thinking forward while still, doing things.
I think something like that you said really, like, applicable skills. Like, something that I hear, that I take, and I can apply to my life. Like, that's the solution-based thinking that we're talking about. Now, whether it goes with social media, whether it goes with relationships or just life skills in general, I think, like you said, learning to learn. You got to be open to learning. Like, you got to be willing to learn. It's not just, let me put on this podcast and listen. It's, let me put on this podcast, get a notebook, and take some notes. Yes. You know what I mean? Let me meditate on this podcast. Let me listen to this one episode 3 times this week. Not, okay, I listened to it for an hour, I didn't get nothing from it. No, you didn't get anything from it because you was driving, you was working while you was listening to it. Like, no, spend some one-on-one intentional time with whatever you're trying to do. Like, that's 10,000 hours. We try to do 10,000 hours doing 20 things. Like, you need to sit down, take notes, look at your notes. Okay, what did I like from that? Okay, listen again, take some more notes. Okay, what did I really take from it the second time? Like, one thing that got me through school, and I'll be honest with y'all, I almost flunked out of school twice. Like, I almost flunked out my first semester. I got to college. College was lit. I went to A&T. Shout out Aggies. College was lit. I wasn't going to class. They was like, yo, you on academic probation? about to get you up out of here. Like, I'm like, oh snap, okay, cool. Like, let me chill. Then I switched my major my junior year, which is a big decision because you're almost done. And I literally almost pretty much started from scratch my junior year. So somebody told me, go in the library, and they said, read the chapter 3 times. You read the book, don't do anything, you just read it, word for word. You don't stop to try to digest it, none of that. Just read it straight through. You read it again, you take notes, and then you read it for the 3rd time, and you figure out what's stuck between your notes. And that's how you digest things. It's not just spending one little instant on it. Even when it comes to like entrepreneurship, I can't just design a shirt and put it out. Like, yeah, sometimes it's going to be a hit like that, but sometimes things need a little tweaking, or sometimes things don't really hit the second time you look at it. And with the social media age is,
Yep.
I gotta put it out quick. I gotta put it out before the next person puts it out. I got 170 something ish designs that never seen the light of day yet because I'm tweaking them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm getting ready to drop them, but we just want things so fast, man. Sometimes we just gotta chill, be intentional about our time, and just be one-on-one with some things. Like, don't be so quick to just spend a little quick moment with it and move on to the next thing. Like, that's what social media is conditioning us to do, is be on to the next thing.
Yeah, you said sitting in a moment, and you talk about focusing. One thing that I noticed when it comes to focusing is what's being propagated, and the system is working.
Definitely working.
The propaganda is working on us by believing that multitasking is a good thing. When multitasking is actually very destructive.
Can be detrimental.
It can be very destructive. And sitting down, slowing down, focusing on one thing, and taking notes. The guy who I learned my historical facts on, my teacher, we call him a master teacher.
Yep.
And I'm considered basically a master student. He would never start a lecture by not telling you this. Take out your pen and paper. He said, don't believe no word that I say. Everything is documented. You can go in and go look at it. If I mislead you based off my own opinion, then I'm not a teacher. So one thing about that, that you said, it helps you narrow down your pinpoint.
Yep.
So narrowing down your pinpoints going into 2024, what are some of your goals that you're narrowing down for 2024?
So 2024, I'm focusing on YouTube because 1, YouTube pays you. 2, YouTube to me is the community that I want to be in. And I noticed that I'm trying to grow several different markets that have several different minds that need several different types of attention, right? So I'm trying to grow on TikTok. I'm trying to grow on Instagram. Trying to grow on Twitter. Like, I'm spreading myself thin already because I'm trying to grow on several different markets. So this year, literally, my focus is YouTube. Like, YouTube pays me the most. They pay their creators for being you. That's why I promote YouTube all the time. That's my favorite social media network. It's because YouTube pays you to be you.
Right.
Like, the content that you do is you. And I noticed that once I niche down to just YouTube, everything else eats. So I create good content on YouTube. I make sure my YouTube content is great. Now I can clip it up and make YouTube shorts. I can take those shorts and put them on Instagram. I can take those shorts and put them on Twitter, TikTok, all that. Whereas I'm trying to make content just for Instagram that doesn't necessarily translate to YouTube. But I can pick out portions of my YouTube stuff that goes on to different networks and stuff like that. So one of my like pinpoint down things is just focus on one social media network, grow there, and then let the other ones eat from from the overflow. Like, as long as I keep being consistent on YouTube, everything else will eat, because I have content, I'll have long form content that I can cut down, I'll have money to invest into building better content or doing whatever I need to do. And that's another thing. Stop trying to eat off your content. Like, you don't make enough money to eat off your content yet. Y'all are not getting thousands and thousands of dollars off your content. If you are, then most primarily probably that's your full-time job, whereas you need to eat off your content. But if you're working a 9 to 5 and making content, whatever money you get, put it back into your content.
So hold on, let me add value to what you're saying. I'm gonna put a pin right there. Men, you need to learn how to live under your means and be okay with that. I promise you, if you got a girl and she like you for who you are, I guarantee you can pull back on spending and she still like you. Yeah. If she leave you within that process, like how he said earlier, she not for you,
she
bro.
Didn't like you.
I promise you, she didn't like you. She was there to misuse your ass, and you felt abuse. That's why you're living above your means. Yeah. Learn how to live under your means, so then you can get to the point where what he's saying, you can take that social media money and invest, and that's how you grow super fast. Find ways to be able to cut your biggest bill in half, meaning your biggest bill is your living expense, meaning your rent, mortgage, don't matter. In that area, find ways where that is the cheap, super cheap. If you gotta live in a little buzz down,
you gotta get a roommate or two.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Do that, and then that's do it for. Have your end date, like how you always say. What's get measured, get accomplished. Have an end date. Maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years. Stack a certain amount of cash within that 1 to 2 years that you set out. Then get the hell on. Then do your thing. But I just wanted to add that in there. Go ahead.
Another thing too, like Mark Cuban, like this is something that I learned from him. Was a quote. He said that people always ask him, "Yo, how can I get in the stock market, man? I'm trying to make it big on the stock market." And he said, "Pay off your car, and you just made $600 a month, because that's that car payment that you was paying out now is coming in. Like, get out of debt. Like, pay up. Like you said, lower your expenses is the quickest way to make money. We got 24 different things to watch TV, and you barely getting 3 hours of TV time a week. You know what I mean? So why you got Netflix? Why you got HBO Plus? Why you got all these things? And it's costing you a couple $100 a month when you can just have one, or do a family share or something like that to lower your expense and make all that money back immediately. Like,
and then I would even say trick yourself while still believing you paying for that, but put it somewhere else.
Yeah,
like
I got to trick myself with money all the time. Bro. I got accounts on accounts, boy, for real.
And that's how you will be able to do it. But over time, you'll be able to build that discipline and that habit to the point where you even forget about it. You like, I do it so many times. It's just like it's
natural. Now. I don't even need it.
Like I don't even need it. Yeah. But then when you look over compound interest, when you doing that for so many times,
high yield savings accounts, they're out there. They're really out there.
It'll catapult for you, and then you'll get to that point. Or even when you go shopping, like you said, we live in the fashion world, bro. Yeah. It's so many different places where you can get.
I'll give you this for fashion, right? Because everybody wants to be fresh. Everybody wants clothes. Have a purpose to your clothes.
A narrow niche.
Like, you can. There's so many minimal styles that you can do where you only need 4 pair of pants. You need 3 shirts, where you can really make combos on combos on combos. Or if you're going to do fashion and you're in the social media world, buy clothes for your content. Tell people the process of where to shop. Tell people the process of how to pick clothes. Like, niche it down to where it's educational versus you just spending money on clothes to take a picture. Like, now you have purpose. Now you have expenses that toward your business. Like, we can go. That's a whole nother. We can go down that lane too. But be intentional about everything you do. Like, do you really need every pair of Jordans? Maybe not. Do I need one of every colorway? Probably, because now I can mix and match with my different outfits. But if it's not giving you value or helping you be where you want to be, and that goes back to that ego thing, you're not the guy. If it's not making you the guy, then you don't really need it. Like, so.
And what I've noticed is the majority of the wealthiest people are not wearing things that you think.
No, oh no.
And
they look
crazy. Don't have labels. They don't have labels. They get their stuff. Like they're one thing that I've been doing is branding myself, but I've been branding myself in a way where
you're
it's
the brand.
jackets. Yeah, like my jackets are my brand. So like if you see
I ain't
me,
gonna
you're
lie,
gonna
that
see
blue
me.
jacket you had on that other episode, I said,
When you see me, you're gonna see me while we in the wintertime in a jacket.
yeah.
I'm not gonna not wear a jacket.
Yeah.
But that's me branding myself. And I'm using that to my advantage so you can remember me. To narrow it down even more, Steve Jobs, black tee, blue jeans, New Balance shoes,
Little turtleneck. Yeah.
that's it. Like it was like that's all it is. So to narrow down your niche is a great example
Be
to be
intentional.
able to, you get what I'm saying, lower your living expenses because you're only buying for said niche.
You're only buying for gratification. Like, if you got the girl who already likes you,
Why?
you don't need a new outfit every week. Like, we gotta really assess the things that we call needs. Like,
For sure.
we don't need everything that we want, and we want a lot because we can. It's like we're in the age where we know we can have it. You know what I mean? There was things that weren't attainable to us before, but it's like we know we can have certain things now that it's like, I see it, I want it. Like, I got my eye on this Tesla. Am I going to go broke for this Tesla? No.
Yeah.
But do I want this Tesla? Yes. Now, if it works out that where I can get the Tesla, I'm going to have the Tesla. But it doesn't consume me to the point where I'm going to put my life, like my livelihood in detriment for something that is going to make everybody else happy. You know what I mean? If it's going to make me happy and to the point where I'm okay sleeping in my Tesla, then cool. Like, if you're not willing to sleep in your car, then you probably shouldn't get that car. If you can't sleep in that Rari, you know what I mean? Then you don't get that Rari. You know what I mean? So
That's a fact. Speaking of like just social media, and now we talking about finances within social media. I was just saying as far as in getting on a podcast, saying the cliche quotes. There are people who are on chapter 10.
yeah.
And people who are on chapter 1 are taking that information like they're on chapter 10.
Yeah.
I like to say phases more so.
Yeah.
Because it's equivalent to training. You have a lot of personal trainers out here that are giving information to beginners like they're advanced.
Yeah.
No, you need to master the fundamentals.
Yeah.
You need to master the basics.
Yeah.
And what me and you are talking about when it comes to finances is literally the fundamentals to
Yeah.
finances. You can't
The
get into
budget.
stocks.
Yeah.
You can't get into the social media income
Yeah.
if you don't master the fundamentals or the first phase or the first chapter.
You can't save if you owe.
You can't save if you. Facts.
That's the first thing. You cannot save if you owe.
Facts. So if you're in stage 1, phase 1, chapter 1
Yeah.
of finances,
Finance 101.
focus. Find those people, like you said. Find those people who are in that area who went to chapter 2, and then go ask those people
Yeah.
how to get to chapter 2.
Yeah.
Don't go look at the earn your leisures
Yeah.
and be like, I'm not making it.
Yeah.
You're not there yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not at that phase yet.
You're not investing $10,000 a month. Like,
Right. They're not talking to you. You're not their audience.
Most of us need to go find a person who paid off a credit card.
Most of us need to find somebody who's paid off a credit card. Got another one.
Like, paid off the one. Then go find somebody who saved $1,000.
True.
Like, because they say that most of us don't even have $1,000 saved.
Yep.
So
At least
go
like
find somebody who
80%.
saved $1,000. That's your first step. Go pay off a credit card. That's your next step. Go pay off your car. That's your next step. Save $10,000. You should, because you still, once you save $1,000, you can still save and start paying off the other things. There's levels, like you said. There's levels. You save $1,000, that journey isn't over. Like you still steadily. Okay, but now how much can I pay off a credit card with my savings? How many can I pay off? How many credit cards can I pay off? Now you're able to grow in different areas, but you're trying to put $10,000 that you don't have into Tesla next week, and you owe Sally Mae $130. Like, Sally coming to get hers,
Yeah.
and you never even saved $1,000. How you gonna save 10? Like,
Facts. And it goes down to, like you say, man, just focus on the people who can help you within your area.
yeah,
Or within the phase that you're going through, and then you can go to the next step.
and be gratitude about your phase. Have gratitude about where you at in life.
That's
Like,
a soft skill.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's a lot of soft skills that we as men, what stops us from growing
Yeah.
and getting to that next level. Appreciate the things you already got.
Yeah, there's a study, and I don't know how true it is. It's a study. Sometimes they go either way. But it says, gratitude and anxiety cannot exist at the same time. Like, we have a lot of anxiety these days because we see other people's lives, we compare, we're just not happy because we're not grateful. Like, I can't be comparing and grateful at the same time. You know what I mean? So, if you're feeling anxious about any type of thing, it's probably because you're not showing yourself any gratitude, any grace in that certain area. So, if you try to combat that with some gratitude, it might be a little bit better off.
In and out that leading into gratitude and going into, there's this book called The Paradox of Choice, where it talks about how we have so many different options that we don't choose. We get into analysis paralysis. So, and there's a marketing strategy called the Great Three, where basically you have a low sale, middle sale, which is the sale you want to sell the most, and then you have the high sale. You have if you're gonna go to bronze, silver, gold, you know what I'm saying, or the silver, gold, platinum. You know what I'm saying? It's always that way. Or if you pay attention to the psychology of marketing, most companies have 3 colors. You know what I'm saying? So 2 to 3 colors, but it's mostly 3 colors.
Yeah. But you might identify with 2, but they got a third. They got that third one. Yeah.
Correct. The reason why they do it this way, because if it's more than 3 or 4, you don't make a decision at all.
Yeah.
And we want you to make a decision.
Yeah.
However, you
don't know if it's us or not.
You don't know if it's us or not. So let's narrow this down.
Yeah.
So I agree with what you're saying. And social media has that instant, like, I can have this, I can have that, I can have this, I could be there at this time, I could be there within a year, I can get this within. I want a G-Wagon because this girl just bought a G-Wagon. Her man just got her this, so I need my man to do this, and my man to do this. Yeah, you and your man ain't even on phase 1 yet. Y'all just had sex and y'all just met 2 days ago. Y'all ain't even communicated about who your favorite cousin is or your color is.
You don't know nothing about each other.
You don't know nothing. So now you're comparing your life
to a married couple.
Married people.
Yeah.
Chill. Like you said.
Focus on your own life.
Focus on what you got. Be appreciative of what you got. Use those things that you do have to your advantage so you can get to the next level.
Yeah. And you'll get there. I mean, it's a journey, man. I think the whole Kobe year thing is gonna be really powerful for a lot of people. One, because of the lifestyle that Kobe lived and the philosophies that Kobe lived by. Like, his thing was the practice. Like, he fell in love with the practice. That ultimately led him to the championships. Like, you don't fall in love with the championship because you might not make it there. How many people never made it to the championship game? You know what I mean? You fall in love with the practice that ultimately gets you to the championship. I got a philosophy called the 24-hour life, whereas you live every day as if it's your last day. You know what I mean? You got 24 hours. Most people are gonna sleep 8 of them, like, instantly, like, because you're gonna wake up at 8 o'clock. Like, you already lost 8. So what are you gonna do with that remaining time that is going to say, okay, I've satisfied with everything. I've loved who I was going to love. I did everything I was going to do. And I said everything I was going to say in this remaining hours that I got today. And if I get tomorrow, I can do it again. But you start putting those days together where I love everybody who I was going to love today because tomorrow ain't promised. I said everything I needed to say that I can walk out today and know that I got everything. I said everything I needed to say in this day. And I did everything I needed to do in this day. And then put a series of those together and see where it gets you.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's
it.
That's something good to wrap it up on, bro. we done bounced over everything and kept it all together at one time. You know what I'm saying?
They got a lot of things out of these, boy.
You got a lot, bro. I like the approach that you took with these questions. I also like how you broke it down fundamentally. There's so many different practical gems in this, not just informal gems, but practical gems in this that you can go back to and it be timeless.
No, I mean, that's what I always wanted out of content, was something that I can apply to me. Like, so whenever I do a podcast, whenever I create content, that's always what I want people to get out of it. Is like, not just me telling you something, but a lot of times I'm gonna show you something too. You know what I mean? So that's what I be trying to get out of it, man.
So with that being said, man, I appreciate you for coming on.
Nah, for sure, man.
UndefeatedMindz, presented by distinguished gentlemen.
Yeah, do y'all understand? Like, distinguished gentlemen, like, it's deeper than what y'all probably giving it. Like, it's a class. It's a society. Like, it's a mindset that not everybody's gonna have. Where if you want to be different, you want different outcomes in your life, you become a distinguished gentleman. Like, for a reason. Like, it's a philosophy. It's a lifestyle. Y'all gotta tap in. Like, if y'all not tapped in, then it's cool if you don't tap in. It's cool because we probably don't want you in there anyway.
Yeah.
Like, but for those who tap in, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
You know.
So with that being said, man, thank y'all for watching. Thank you.
My brother, appreciate you.
Y'all
man.
know what it is, man.
The takeover.
Y'all know what I always say. Together we stand, divided we fall. All that propaganda, BS out here where social media is pushing to make you not focus on one narrative at a time. You feel me? Develop yourself so you can get to the next level. So we gonna see you on the next episode. We gonna holler at y'all.
Yeah, we need a part 2, man.
Peace. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bro. We
Yeah,
most
part
definitely
2.
gonna get a part 2.